Hello, and welcome to the Doc Weight Loss Weekly Podcast. This will be your guide to successful weight loss, nutrition, and fitness. Hello, I'm Dr. Thomas Clark, and for those of you joining me for the first time, I'm a board-certified weight loss surgeon as well as bariatrician. That means I do medical weight loss as well. I'm also a best-selling author, and I'm the founder of the Center for Weight Loss Success. In this first podcast, I want to go over some of the things that often people will ask me about. How do they get quick weight loss? This is something that kind of the magic key to weight loss. Well, I wish I could tell you there was one magic key, but there really isn't. But there are a few things that you can do right off the bat that can really jumpstart your weight loss, begin that fairly quick weight loss. So our topic today then is the top 3 things you can do to lose weight fast. All right, now having said that though, weight loss is hard. Okay, y'all know that. That's probably why you're listening. Weight loss is hard, and often there's that one thing you'd like to do better. There are maybe many things you'd like to do better. Often we think of as weight loss as that you need to eat less calories. All right, well, if it were as simple as just eating less calories, then I wouldn't have a job, and so subsequently you wouldn't be listening to this either, because weight loss would then be really easy. So it's not quite so simple as just eating less calories. Now, that doesn't mean that calories have nothing to do with this. They do. But there are some other things you can really look at to kind of jumpstart that weight loss, get it going. One of the first things that when I sit down with someone kind of one-on-one, going over their kind of what is their best plan for them, one of the first things I'll go over with them is kind of manipulating hormones. Now, yes, we can cut back on calories, but if we can actually manipulate some of your hormones, this will actually help with weight loss sometimes even quicker than just looking at calories. So, hormones, people just throw that word out there and talk about, okay, estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, lots of different hormones. But one of the most important hormones is insulin. Now, insulin is a hormone that typically helps you control blood sugars. But insulin is also a hormone that tends to tell your body, store fat. And obviously, that's not what you want in a weight loss plan. That typically leads to weight gain. So one of the first things when someone is trying to get that quick start to weight loss, what I'll tell them to do is, let's manipulate this insulin level. Well, most hormones you can't manipulate. You can't really make them change a whole lot. You can somewhat. But insulin is one of the few hormones you can actually manipulate well, because insulin only goes up in response to blood sugars going up. Blood sugars go up in response to what we eat. And when insulin levels go up, it becomes harder to lose weight. When insulin levels go down, it becomes easier to lose weight. And that's what we'd like to have, easier to lose weight. So one of the first things I'll have people do is count your carbohydrates. If you count your carbohydrate, you can manipulate insulin levels down. Because again, if we eat too many carbohydrates, your insulin levels go up. Doesn't mean your blood sugars go away skyrocketing, but it just means that it takes more insulin to keep your blood sugars normal. So if we cut carbohydrate way back, you can bring insulin levels down. We see the best weight loss, or I typically see the best weight loss when people get their total carbohydrate for the day, about 50 grams or less. Now, just to put this in comparison or in perspective of what the typical American diet is, the typical American diet will generally eat about 300 grams of carbohydrate a day. Now, if you're familiar with Atkins' diet, Atkins is one of the classic low-carbohydrate diets, and he said you ought to eat about 20. Okay, well, 320, okay, that's significantly different there. Most people don't need to go down to 20 grams of carbohydrate. 50 will usually do the trick. But if you can get your carbohydrate ratcheted down, it'll bring down insulin levels. When insulin levels go down, the first thing that happens is you quit retaining water. So you'll actually lose a lot of weight, and it may initially be some water weight, but it'll also be fat too, because insulin turns on fat storage. So when we decrease insulin levels, we end up with fat mobilization, which is what we want. in weight loss. So number one, as far as the first things, is count your carbohydrates. Get it less than 50 grams a day. That'll typically do the trick. Now that typically means low-carb foods, which kind of salad and colorful vegetable type of things. Now the second thing also has to do with hormone manipulation. And what we then want to do is we're going to talk about how do you manipulate hormones that help you lose weight and increase those hormones. Well, one of the best things to do for that, so for the second thing, is get your protein in. Protein is one of the best ways to do a number of things to help with weight loss. It manipulates hormones, but it also does a number of other things. When we talk about protein, what we're really meaning there is kind of the best protein sources from food are going to be meat, seafood, cheese, and egg. So if you kind of bump up your protein levels, and I usually encourage people in a weight loss plan, try to get your protein around 100 grams a day, potentially even a little bit more, especially if you're a big guy. Okay? Big guy has more muscle mass, so subsequently they're going to need more protein. But the protein keeps you satisfied. It also is harder to digest, and digestion is work your body has to do, so it increases your metabolism. So yes, protein does increase your metabolism. Then finally, protein will manipulate some hormones, and it increases both glucagon and growth hormone. Now glucagon is kind of the opposite hormone of insulin. Insulin is telling your body store fat. We want that to go down. Glucagon, though, tells your body mobilize fat. And we'd like that one, actually, to go up somewhat. And protein helps increase glucagon levels. The other hormone was growth hormone. Now, as adults, we don't make that much growth hormone, but we do make growth hormone. We can't survive without it. So if we can optimize what we do make, it is going to help you with weight loss. So kind of increasing the protein up is going to help with weight loss. It increases both glucagon and growth hormone. So there's the second thing then. So the first thing again, ratchet that carbohydrate down, get your insulin levels lower, and now okay, ratchet the protein up to get your glucagon growth hormone levels up, and subsequently it's going to help you with weight loss. I typically see the best weight loss when we get a protein to carbohydrate ratio about 2 to 1. So I mentioned that, okay, 100 grams of protein, 50 or less grams of carbohydrate, there's that 2 to 1 ratio there. Now, the third thing in here, people often will think, well, gee, the third thing is you got to look at calories. Well, yes, calories are going to be important, but that's not the third thing. I think it's a distant fourth. So the third thing really is looking at your exercise. Okay? Exercise is extremely important in a weight loss plan, but not because it makes you lose weight faster. What it does, it helps you preserve your lean body mass. And your lean body mass is what drives your overall metabolism. The simplified concept there is a pound of muscle burns a lot more calories in 24 hours than a pound of fat does. So if you can keep that muscle or build that muscle, you're going to increase your metabolism for basically the full 24 hours. So you want to work on the exercise really to improve or at least keep that lean body mass. One of the problems in a calorie deficit, which basically by definition, weight loss is a calorie deficit. You're not taking in as many calories as you're spending. But one of the problems there, and just this is a survival mechanism, is that when we go on a diet, is your body will actually try to break down lean body mass preferentially. And the reason that is because your body's going to want to slow your metabolism down so that you could survive longer if you were truly in a famine state. Okay, well, your body doesn't realize we're not in a famine state, that you're just trying to lose some weight, but it doesn't know that. So subsequently then, we got to kind of trick it, so to speak, to preserve that lean body mass. We have to tell your body how important the lean body mass is to you to keep your metabolism up. And the best way to do that is with the exercise. So exercise helps with preserving lean body mass. And to take that a step further, that exercise thought, one step further, most exercise plans, or really the best exercise plans, they mix up cardiovascular exercise as well as resistance training. Now, cardiovascular gets your heart rate up. Resistance training is basically weight training. Now, the best exercise for weight loss, or a better exercise for weight loss, actually is weight training. And the reason that is, again, if you can build muscle mass, you're going to keep your metabolism up for that full 24 hours, not just for while you're doing it. Cardio, yes, it's very good for you, increases your metabolism significantly while you're doing it, but then it tends to drift right back to normal fairly quickly. So if you do some weight training, it'll help you keep your metabolism up for that longer period of time, basically the full 24 hours then, and subsequently helps keep that burning more calories, subsequently makes weight loss easier. All right, so again, a quick review there is kind of those three things that I encourage people to do. One, count your carbohydrate. Get it down 50 grams or less. Decreases insulin levels. Second thing is bump your protein up. Get that 100 grams or more, and subsequently it'll manipulate both glucagon and growth hormone, which help you lose weight. And then finally work on the exercise, because the exercise is what's going to help you preserve your lean body mass, keep your metabolism as high as possible. Calories, distant fourth. All right, so there it is. The top three things you can do to kind of jumpstart that weight loss. And if you want more information, we encourage you, pay attention to these podcasts. You can sign up by going to the Center for Weight Loss Success website. Our corporate website is cfwls.com. You put the slash on there and podcast. It'll take you right to the page to sign up for these. You can follow along. Remember, it's your life. Make it a healthy one. We'll see you on the next time. Take care.